Assalamu alaikum, guys. Another reflection. So on my way to work today, I was listening to motivational speeches, talks on YouTube, and whenever we listen to one of those speeches or talks, we always get that sense of like you get pumped up, you become more motivated, you become more determined, and it inspires you to go out there and just kill it, and which is great and all, and it even affected me too, and it should. A lot of that's being said in these talks is working hard, making it in life, chasing your dreams, being kind to people, having good relationships, all that, no problem, right? But then I started thinking of it in a different aspect. For someone that views this life as their paradise, this is their Jannah. This is what they're chasing. Material. But for someone that believes in the hereafter, and you don't even have to be Muslim. A lot of religions believe in there's a life after death. This life is temporary destination. It's not your final abode. Like, one day we're gonna be 6 feet under, as they say. You're gonna be questioned about your life, what you did. Your good and bad deeds are gonna be weighed. And that's not to say to not work hard. No, I mean, the Sahabis, they were millionaires. Some of them were millionaires. And even the righteous, they were millionaires and they did really great things with their money, but they worked hard, but they also knew that they need to establish a good relationship with their Lord. Because if you don't somehow connect to your work and with God, you're going to feel a sense of emptiness. You might have some happiness there, but then after that temporary happiness of, reaching or attaining some material thing, or being happy in that 5, 10 hour, 2 hours, or 1 day, then you're going back to the reality and be like, man, what now? Like, you see it with like millionaires and billionaires who have fell into depression, having everything at the tip of their fingers, but then what? Like, you have everything. So it's like, as someone that believes in the hereafter and someone that believes in paradise and hellfire and God protect us from it, how can you connect that with your Lord? How can you give back to the community? What can you do that, God bless you in your affairs, to not make you feel that way? Because if you don't, like I said, a sense of emptiness, man. And there's a verse in the Quran in Surah Al-Mu'minun, حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت كلا إنها كلمة هو قائلها ومن ورائهم برزخ إلى يوم يبعثون. When death comes, death is going to come to all of us, 60, 70, 80, maybe next minute. They're going to say, we wish to come back to do a righteous deed, right? They're pleading with their Lord. But God is going to be like, Kalla, no, never. Innaha kalimatun huwa qailuha. Just a word they're going to say. It's a useless appeal, And I feel like, in saying this to myself, we fall into this sense of like, man, just enjoy the life that you can. It's like when I see myself or other people, and I think I'm able to pinpoint it to a couple things. When you see people trying to enjoy the moment and not really thinking about the next moment, it's either because, they've lost faith and they feel like they can't be saved by God. I'll just enjoy the moment. I'm too bad of a person anyway for God to forgive me or for God to guide me. I might as well just enjoy, this life as it is anyways, right? But that's not right, Or you enjoy the moment and you're not thinking about the next. And that's very selfish, I feel. I'm saying that to myself too, like, you could be screwing up right then and there, but you're just looking after your happiness, but then, you're screwing yourself up for the future. You're not thinking about your family, your friends, your relationship with God, and the hereafter. You're thinking about enjoying the moment right then and there. We become so spoiled And we want instant satisfaction where we're not disciplined. And it's going to happen. Like, there is a hereafter. There is paradise and hellfire. It's going to happen. And if you're not setting yourself up for that, then your life doesn't have much purpose, and other than just wanting to enjoy it, if that makes sense. So don't lose hope in God. Connect with whatever you're doing, whatever your work that you're doing. Do it for the sake of God, because then He's going to bless you more. And work hard, because, like I said, death can come at any moment. And do what you can. There's a hadith. It says, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, and I'm paraphrasing, live in this world as if you were a stranger or a wayfarer. Like, don't get attached. This life will disappoint you. If you run after this life, and I know there's another hadith, I believe, you run after, you will never be able to attain it. From one thing to the next, you're always going to run after it. But if you choose not to, it's going to run after you. But don't get too attached to this life, because it's not your paradise, man. For the person that doesn't believe in a hereafter, this is their paradise. But don't become so attached, because the hereafter is infinite. That's hard to even understand that, to comprehend that concept. We are just travelers, man. Do you take anything with you to the grave? Do you take your money? Do you take your possessions, your clothes, your kids? I mean, on the day of judgment, you're going to be not even concerned about your own family, your children. A mother won't be concerned about her own child. She'll be concerned about herself. That's crazy, man. Until, inshallah, God put us in heaven, And there's not a hadith that Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, God does not look at your forms, at your possessions, or what forms or possessions, but He looks at your deeds and your heart. Your heart, man. Have a good heart. Have a good heart. Try to make your heart as pure as possible. It's such a big deal in life, man. Like, and the Prophet ﷺ is our example. Be in this life, like, as a stranger. Not as a stranger, but like as a traveler. But that's a whole different stranger, a whole different thing. But like, your heart and your deeds, man, and devote time to God. Like, develop a relationship, a connection with Him. Make your life more purposeful, meaningful. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I created man and jinn for the purpose to worship me. And God doesn't need our worship, but that's why we're here. Like, to say it bluntly, And anything can be an act of worship if you're like doing it for God. If I'm going to work because this is what God asked me to provide for my family, to provide for myself, great. Nothing wrong with that. Enjoy your life. Nothing wrong with that. Like, there's a lot of hadith about that. I mean, don't misunderstand me. But also think about, even having fun. That's a form of worship as well. But don't get so attached where you're like thinking just in the moment. Yeah, a little bit longer than I thought, but hey, salam, love y'all.